overall summary of the game. Which game? Are you talking England, New Zealand?
New Zealand.
Overall summary, I was pleasantly surprised for New Zealand, because I thought the South Africans would actually muscle up a little bit more, but I was concerned for the New Zealanders just in a couple of aspects. Was in the forward play. I thought the line out I thought the South Africans would apply a lot more pressure through them, but they actually didn't. I think the New Zealanders actually handled themselves really well. The scrums, I felt that New Zealand actually probably had parity in the scrums, and on a couple of occasions sort of felt that they controlled the scrum, which actually allows Jerome Kano, the number 8, to actually unleash himself. So I thought Jerome Kano was actually a little bit quiet, but obviously a big test match for him, because that was his first start. But generally, overall, the forwards controlled well. But we saw a little bit of another masterclass from Daniel Carter. I thought he played pretty well. And
kind of back to better.
I think he's back to where he was, and I don't think he's back. I don't think you'll ever see him back to where he was in 2005 with the Lions. I thought that's just a timeless piece of play, and if he can get back to it, then I think New Zealand will be in a very good position. I think there was a good variation. I have to say that probably there's some of their key players, and I think you have to look at the overall picture, is that there's 2 or 3 of the key players have actually been playing in the Northern Hemisphere with the old Bulls. Now these guys, like Smith, Victor Matfield, they've been playing in France. They've come through a long season. They've gone through the World Cup, they've gone through the domestic season here, they've come out. I actually went and watched Victor Matfield's last game when he played through Toulon, when Toulon actually got promoted into the Premiership, and that was basically that was only 5 or 6 weeks ago, and yet 2 weeks later he's in there sitting on the bench in the test last week, and then he's in the starting lineup this week. So I thought Victor Matfield actually wasn't that good, and he's not at his best. His speciality is actually in the lineouts and adding a little weight, but I really don't think I don't think we actually saw the South Africans at full flight. Butch James, look, he's one of those guys. He can be brilliant, but sometimes he just chucks his toys out. He needs to control himself. A couple of things. We know he can tackle, but there was a couple of cheap shots on those late tackles, which certainly that first one I felt was way off the mark, but he was probably instructed to do if he can get a little tackle on him. If he brings the ball across your face on the defensive line, just take him on a late one, just to let him know that you're there, just to check him. Yep, okay, that's fine. You got a penalty, and I think Daniel Carter actually missed the penalty anyway. So
do you think he'll get it next week? Be a bit of a target man.
Well, you're never going to target it. Butch James, he's going to stand up to the plate anyway on defence. He's a very solid flyer. But what you actually want to do is you want him not to perform. You don't want him to get a good kicking game. You don't want him to get a confidence, which actually, when you're in the number 10 and you have a guy like Daniel Carter, he controls the play. He gets the forwards on the front foot, which actually makes it easier. If Butch James is playing the game on the back foot, that's going to be very difficult. And Butch James is, he can be a little bit erratic.